Hey guys, it's Cayley. I'm back with another deep dive video. We're going to be diving into a brand that I come across all of the time. If you guys have any brands that you come across all of the time and you want me to cover them, drop them down in the comments below. But for today, we're going to be doing a brand that I come across all the time, which is Express. They make both men's and women's, so I thought it would be a great way to dive into this brand and cover all of our bases. Let's get started. I feel like we might have to do some drilling down on the filters just because who knows what all this is going to pull up. So let's just search Express. And it looks like we are filtered to the clothing category, which is great. We are going to go to pre-owned. So we are on pre-owned. There's 150,000 plus results. You can tell that this brand is definitely oversaturated, and we're going to check the solds, but probably more items listed that aren't valuable compared to ones that are. Okay, sold 19,000. So yeah, that's really bad. Let's go ahead and filter. I want to do the more higher valued items just because I am trying to increase my own ASP, but of course feel free to change these filters for yourself. I did want to dive into one really quick before I change the price filters because I know it's going to be outside of the price range that I'm about to filter and apply. So there is a bolo within Express that I do already know and currently pick up all the time, and it is their Portofino top, and I mention this in a lot of what's sold videos and also thrift hauls, but let's just do a quick little deep dive into this real fast before I filter out of this price range. So we've got 18,000. So we've got 1,800 available results. Let's go to the solds. 1,000 sold. So not 100% sell-through rate, but almost every time I've looked up these, depending on what the size is, I think these smaller sizes are definitely weighing them down. It's almost always 100% sell-through rate when I look up the mediums and up. So I wanted to share this with you guys if you're not already looking for this. It's a super simple bolo that you can be on the lookout for. They don't sell for much, about $20 to $25, sometimes less, sometimes more. But again, very easy to come across because they do say Portofino on the tag. It makes it super easy to look up and to list. And they're just a pretty plain office top. I honestly think, I think they're made out of just polyester. But they're a pretty good bolo. I know the comps are not showing that right now. Let's actually switch this to larges and maybe that'll make a difference. So 176 for large. $101 available. So yeah, definitely over 100% sell-through rate in size large. So it really depends on the print and the size, but in general, I've even sold extra smalls that have performed well. I think it really just depends, but definitely a bread and butter within this brand that you want to look for. All right, but for now, we are going to filter to... I feel like this is really going to narrow it down, but I'm just curious. Let's do a minimum of $35. All right, so we're just going to start scrolling. Let's see here. We have a vintage Express. I do know that some of the vintage and Y2K era Express stuff does well, but we'll keep going. I'm going to be skipping some of this stuff because it's pulling other things, and this is not the brand Express. There is an Express blazer, a leather jacket, a men's suit set, a hat, Express men's jeans. These are the Rocco style. I've heard of that before. Express men's blazer. Here's a collaboration I've never heard of. Let's take a look at this. Oh, they do not have very many pictures, but Rocky Barnes in collaboration with Express. Let me just look this up and see what it says. 45 available. Let's go to sold. Only 13, so not the greatest collaboration. I do see where that dress did sell for a very high amount, but okay, there's a couple of them. So this in particular might be one that you want to look for, this specific dress. Express, similar to J. Crew, which is the last brands I come across deep dive I did, is also known for their office wear. Again, that's at least what I am very familiar with it for. So I do know that a lot of their office wear are what people are looking for. Even this here would be considered kind of business casual officey. And so this could definitely be a great item. Here's another vintage one. This is a Y2K 90s. Let's go ahead and take a look at that tag. Man, they're killing me today. Nobody has the pictures we need. We'll find one. All right, moving on. I'm just going to pass all of this stuff that does not apply. Express Riders. Here's another outerwear. Here's a men's express leather. So that seems to be a popular theme, leather and suede. Here's another vintage express dress. This one was an as seen on actually. Let's see if we can get a tag that I can show you guys. Here's one of Express's older tags, and this is actually junior sizing, which is a good indicator that it's probably Y2K. How fun. So definitely an Express bolo, the as seen on Gilmore Girls. I love finding little niche things like that. Here's some more Express men's blazers. Let's go ahead and look those up because we have now come across them quite a bit. All right, we have 923 available, 303 sold. So not 100% sell-through rate by any means, but there are some that are selling pretty well, especially if you were to find them new. Yeah, I definitely say they are worth the risk depending on what you have. An Express leather bag. Definitely leather in general. There's another outerwear. There's a boho skirt that looks kind of vintagey. Vintage 90s Express jean overalls, more vintage. There's a shirt, jacket, shacket. I would consider that outerwear as well. Another blazer. Here's an Express cashmere hoodie. Cashmere is definitely going to add value in pretty much anything, so this would definitely be a brand as well. Here is a really cool vintage Express. This is a very old label granny core sweater. Express has some pretty good vintage items. So this is Express tricot. That is such a cool find. So there are definitely really good pieces within Express's vintage lines. All right, we'll move on to the second page. Here's another one of those tricot ones. Another vintage, lots of Express vintage. Seems like I would pretty much pick up anything Express tricot. Yeah, just tons of really good vintage in this brand. Here's another Y2K dress that sold. This is definitely a style that people are on the lookout for, and I think this might even be the same one because it is also 100% silk. $80 for that. It's another dress. There's another one. So I definitely don't feel like I've learned a whole lot about this brand quite yet. I do know that some of their dress pants can do well, but they're probably going for less than $35, which is what we have this filtered for, so just keep that in mind. But what I'm seeing so far is that definitely some leather outerwear within this brand. Absolutely the vintage stuff, sweaters, dresses, that kind of thing, in the women's department. And then there was that Gilmore Girls one, which I'll definitely be on the lookout for now. And then men's blazers is definitely where it's at in this brand. Alright guys, so that's it for today's deep dive. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Let me know down below if this is a brand that you come across very often, and then drop your suggestions down below if you want to do a deep dive together of some of the brands that you guys come across pretty often. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.